Good evening and welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Ankita Mukherjee. Our big focus tonight, two separate cases which throw up urgent questions about why the environment is given such low priority. The country's top environmental court will decide whether or not Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's mega event, the World Cultural Festival, can go ahead after activists say it will do untold damage to the Yamuna's floodplains. Why was the event given permission in the first place? That's the big question. Also on the show tonight, Bengaluru's lakes once again expose its civic apathy. After foam and flames, now thousands of dead fish float on the surface of the Alsur Lake in Bengaluru. Will its civic body take responsibility? But the big story tonight, growing concerns, as we said, over the mega World Cultural Festival being organized by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's Art of Living Foundation. It's a 3-day event for which a 1,000-acre area on the Yamuna's floodplains has been cleared. A massive temporary stage erected. There are estimates that the event could attract up to 35 lakh visitors. An environmental activist has moved the top Green Court to have the event stopped. With just 4 days to go before the start of the festival and most of the structures up, is it already too late for the fragile Yamuna floodplain?
Delhi municipal workers spraying thousands of litres of anti-mosquito chemicals along the Yamuna for the Art of Living World Culture Festival.
ऐसी रेसों से डालने हैं कि ज़्यादा नुकसान ना हो, इसी साइड में डालते हैं ताकि लार्वा मरे।
ये केमिकल है किसी टाइप का, तो जाहिर सी बात है, मतलब रिवर के अंदर भी तो ये पोल्यूशन और करेगा।
देखो क्या कर सकते हैं हम, जो इतनी पब्लिक बचानी है, थोड़ा 1-2% कोई फर्क पड़ेगा तो इतने बड़े पानी में इतने लंबा चौड़ा है जमुना जी का, इतना इफेक्ट तो नहीं पड़ना चाहिए।
The controversy around the festival seems to have had its first casualty even before it starts. Rashtrapati Bhavan confirms the president will not be the chief guest at the closing ceremony on the 13th. The Prime Minister is expected to inaugurate the festival on Friday. A massive stage spread over 7 acres is in its final stages, and the army has also been roped in. Well, work literally happening on a war footing out here on the banks of the Yamuna. In fact, the army also helping out building 2 pontoon bridges to accommodate lakhs of people who are expected to come here for the World Culture Festival. Sources say that the army was asked to build 5 temporary bridges to manage 35 lakh people expected. It is building 2 and perhaps even a 3rd bridge. Environmentalists say the grand scale of the event is highly destructive, a charge refuted by Art of Living.
If people say Art of Living is polluting the river bank, no, we were the pioneers in cleaning Jamuna River.
A committee set up by the Green Panel says repairing massive damage from levelling the ground will cost 100 to 120 crore rupees.
This is the matter which is under the consideration of NGD. I will not like to make any comments.
The National Green Tribunal is expected to finish hearing the matter on Tuesday. But will a decision be too late to implement for the Friday event? With Snigdha Basu, in New Delhi, Siddharth Pandey for NDTV. Well, launching a spirited defense of the event, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar told my colleague Maya Sharma that it was the joke of the era to say his Art of Living Foundation was polluting the Yamuna. He claimed his organization had undertaken a comprehensive campaign to actually clean the river. He also laughed away the idea that his foundation should pay a 120 crore fine, which will be used to mitigate the damage caused by the event. This is a recommendation that has been made by the panel of experts that has submitted a report to the Environment Court.
Lots of concerns expressed about how it will impact the sensitive environment on the bank of the Yamuna.
I said this is a joke of the year. If people say Art of Living is polluting the river bank, no, we were the pioneers in cleaning Jamuna River. You know, for the last 3 months, 100,000 households are preparing enzymes at their home. From the vegetable waste and fruit waste, we have taught them how to do. And they started pouring those enzymes in the water since last 16th of February. And the effect of that you can see today. Buffaloes have gotten into the water, which they would not do it before. We have said, we have given an undertaking, we will leave the place much cleaner, much eco-friendlier than it was ever before. In 20 acres, there was so much cement debris we had to remove. We had to remove all those.
This is not debris that has been brought for this function.
We would never bring a piece of debris into that land. Why would we? Be awarded and rewarded, not people crying foul and saying, you should be fined and all. What for? We haven't violated any laws. We have taken all due permissions.
And you are convinced that there will be no harm done to the river or the banks at all?
Absolutely not. This is, as I said, this is a joke of the year. What harm could? We haven't used any such material.
Well, joining us on this discussion tonight, Anand Arya, environmental activist. He's petitioned the National Green Tribunal to cancel the World Culture Festival, saying it's going to do absolutely irreparable damage to the Yamuna. Saraswati Akshama Nath, lawyer for the Art of Living Foundation, also joining us tonight, as is Vimlendu Jha. He's the founder of Swechha, We for Change Foundation. Now, he sent an online petition to the Prime Minister, to the President, to the Chief Justice and others, seeking a change in venue for the World Culture Festival away from the banks of the Yamuna, but perhaps it's too late for that now. Prabhakar Rao, environment, and he's an environmental consultant for the Art of Living Foundation, so we're likely to get their idea of why this is not a problem at all for the Yamuna. Also joining us tonight, Aman Sinha, spokesperson for the BJP. Now, I want to clarify at this point that nobody from the Delhi Development Authority, which first gave permission for the event, then cancelled it, then gave permission again, was actually willing to join this discussion. So perhaps Mr. Sinha will try and sort of explain some of those U-turns for us tonight. But Anand Arya, let me begin with you. Why do you feel that this event, why do you feel so strongly about this event that you approached the Green Tribunal and asked for it to be cancelled literally days before this festival is to begin?
Okay. Before I say anything, let me make it very clear that I have nothing against Art of Living. I have nothing against Mr. Shankar. But my concern is essentially the river.
Yes.
Essentially, it is the destruction of the irreparable damage that we will see to the floodplains. Now, let me explain first thing, what is a river? A river is not just a water channel.
Right.
A river has got a complete ecosystem and which has tremendous biodiversity into it. Even though from the top, or maybe when you walk, you don't see the wildlife which exists there.
Right. We're talking about microflora, fauna, all of
we're
that.
talking about a lot of flora, we're talking about fauna, we are talking about microorganisms, we are talking about reed beds,
Yes.
we are talking about the the wildlife which is there.
So you're saying all of this
and
is
some
under
of
threat.
this, I mean, let's say, I mean, when we once in a while we do go to the Yamuna river also, in spite of the fact that it stinks a hell of a lot in the part of Delhi.
Yes.
But once you go upwards of Wazirabad or you go downstream of Okhla,
Yes.
the river floodplains are still teeming with life.
And you're saying
these
this
are the
event
wildlife
is going
which
to
is
endanger
there,
that.
and the wildlife which exists there consists of a number of Schedule 1 species which have got protection under the Wildlife Protection Act. Now, let me explain to you why this will have a tremendous amount of impact. The ecosystem is not developed over a year.
Yes.
It's not developed by me, you and me. It has
Right.
it has developed and evolved over thousands or maybe millions of years. I mean, it's as old as
Okay,
the rivers are.
so you're saying that there is a great deal of damage that could be caused by something like this. We're talking
Yes,
about a 7-acre
and
stage. We're talking about pontoon bridges
Exactly.
being built. We're talking about, in fact, 35 lakh people who are expected to arrive for this event. So we're actually talking about weight pressing down on the Yamuna River as well, on the floodplain as well.
Yeah.
Saraswati Akshama Nath, come in for this. You're a lawyer for the Art of Living Foundation. Why do you think that, of course, we heard that very spirited defense from Shri Ravi Shankar, who's saying that the foundation is doing a lot already for the river. But when we look at structures like this, a 7-acre stage coming up, pontoon bridges being built, 2 separate areas for parking lots, we're talking about a 1,000-acre area that has been cleared now. Are you saying that there is no cause for concern whatsoever?
First, we need to put the facts in place, Ankita.
Sure.
Thank you for this question, because this is very important for me to bring the clarity on ground, which is not so. The ground reality is that why at the first place Art of Living, having a legion, having a background of 35 years of selfless service behind it, would, if at all, come to the floodplain illegally.
That's a very quick question.
Absolutely.
Why choose the Yamuna as a venue when you had access to so many others?
So
you could have
many
had it
things.
in the Pragati Maidan, you could have had it in any place where there was not a fragile ecosystem.
Absolutely.
At risk.
So at the first place, when we go and we humbly seek permission from the authorities, and that is not just overnight, it has taken few months for the authorities to look into our permission request letter, and then on the hindsight they have gone into verification, they have made the observation, nowhere it was put up that this is a fragile land. It is a land, it is actually been earmarked for biodiversity. From no angle, today we stand as a victim, we stand as a culprit, despite having such amazing work behind us for the river Yamuna.
Okay, that's an important point you raise, and I'm going to take that across to Aman Sinha tonight. Aman Sinha, is it not true that all of this is happening very last minute for the Art of Living Foundation? We know that this went to the Delhi Development Authority, and in fact, it said on the 30th of November that it would not be possible to hold a program of this scale on the banks of the Yamuna. But on 4th December 2015, it actually granted permission. Why this U-turn? And now if the Art of Living Foundation turns around and says, you know, we're the victims over here, we've gone ahead, we've built everything already. Why was this decision taken in haste, if at all? How does the DDA explain this decision?
No, Ankita, I believe the Art of Living spokesperson was saying that this decision was not taken in haste at all. In fact, over a period of 2-3 months, all the due diligence was done, all the guidelines and their adherence from the organizers, that undertaking was taken, and everything is there on record. The NGT is seized of the matter, and therefore to say that anything is not being adhered to will not be proper, because everything the organizers are strictly adhering to it, I believe. The DDA has also recently carried out an inspection. We have given an inspection report that all the strict guidelines that NGT had issued, they are adhering to it. And NGT is seized of the matter. I believe there is no construction, concretization, etc., which is there on the venue. Only some temporary eco-friendly material is being used.
I have the report of the expert panel that was asked by the National Green
Tribunal. And Ankita,
Tribunals.
finally, if I may just...
Yes, but I do want to say that, they've gone over this with a fine-tooth comb and they don't believe that the guidelines are being adhered to at all. Let me just read out to you a few comments that are made in this report. It says the entire area...
No, Ankita, that may not be required.
Let
the NGT decide.
Please, sir, I'll let you respond. Let me just highlight what this report says. This is what the National Green Tribunal is considering. The entire area of the floodplain between the river and the DNT flyover has been leveled flat. The small water bodies that existed earlier have been filled up. All the natural vegetation has been removed. The site has been compacted. Construction debris has been dumped, especially on some of the roads that are constructed along the river margin. 2 ramps have been constructed joining the DNT flyover with the floodplains close to the stage of the festival for providing VIP access. It also says 1 pontoon bridge has been completed, the other one is being constructed. Besides the natural floodplain vegetation, even trees in the area have been removed or lopped. Now, this to me does not sound like guidelines are being adhered to. Aman Sinha, please respond.
Ankita, you are right. This may be somebody's opinion, but it is not the final binding observation coming from the tribunal. Please try and understand.
Of course.
Somebody has given a report. It might be their version. Other agencies and authorities will also give their report. DDA has given a report. Let the NGT decide. They are seized of the matter. But the point that I am making, Ankita, is that, yes, please, if you may just allow me to complete.
Yes, go ahead.
We had taken undertaking from the organizers that there will be no concretization, there will be no permanent structures, nothing of that sort. Only temporary eco-friendly material will be utilized. And I believe that is what they are doing. So therefore, there is no reason when a peaceful congregation, a gathering, which will have yoga, meditation, which will have some cultural, festival and an event, which itself is envisaged and conceptualized for creating awareness about importance of river and river cleaning. I do not believe it is going to cause any harm to the environment as it is being made out to be. And let the NGT decide whatever they wish to decide. Everything is there on record.
Certainly the NGT will decide. But Vimalendu Jha, come in on this. Can you celebrate culture at the expense of the environment?
Not at all. And everything, so the NGT expert committee has actually made those observations, and this is not a layman. It's not a lobby group that's actually saying that the entire floodplain has been destroyed. I was there yesterday. I spent almost 2.5, 3 hours, and I've actually seen that everything that Art of Living
so let the NGT decide it. Let us not presume and
Of course.
Jump the gun.
Of course. Aman Sinha, similarly, let NGT decide. But, without NGT deciding, you're saying it's been adhered to. And that's what I have a problem with the state. That your party in power, Art of Living as an organizer, is not able to understand.
That is the report. That is the report which has been given by GDA.
Can I finish? Have you been there? I've been there. NGT's been there. Can they speak rather than you speaking?
Please,
Can I speak
I have
for a
also
second?
been there, yes.
Okay, so I was there yesterday. Maybe you did not see.
Go ahead, do not state incorrect
the
facts.
structure. You did not see the cranes. I saw the cranes. Entire media house has seen. Every media house has seen those cranes. Every media house has actually seen how there's been concrete construction garbage that's actually been dumped everywhere. Everyone has actually seen. There is every evidence that we have in our possession, including NGT has it in its possession.
It's all right. If you have so much of evidence, you should adduce it before the court, and you should be able to persuade the court to pass appropriate orders.
See, the thing
if
is,
you have so much of plethora of evidence.
We are not saying that.
Yes, I am not worrying about that. I am only worrying for the fact that if you have so much of evidence, please go and present it before the court.
All right. Okay,
we
fine.
will, and we are, sir. That's one of the reasons why President of India is not turning up for the event.
Please do. What is the difficulty?
There
Please
is
do. Please do. You do, but do not
I
cast
want to take
aspersions
this back,
in vacuum when there is no point
to Akshama. Akshama, is this an embarrassment for you? Your foundation has put out all these posters with pictures of the president saying he was going to give the closing address. But he has now, just days before the event, said he is not attending. What do you make of that?
Well, it seems that everybody is taking a mileage out of it. The issue is somewhere else, and we are just being made a victim of it. Now the president, the honorable president has a right to his own protocol, what he needs to follow, and now to link up his coming and not coming to the event. Once again, it's only taking a mileage out of the whole debate. So let's not shift the whole debate. Coming back to this, my friend Mr. Jha is saying that we have seen lorries and we have seen some machines and stuff like that. My friend should have been there now since 3 months since the time we have been at the site. The first letter we brought to the notice of authorities, thankfully, it's been backed by documentary evidence, which completely, we have pictures of almost 25 acres of that land covered in debris.
Okay.
And we have put it on record in NGT that from the day we got permission from the authorities, we got a permission in writing from the authorities to clear the debris at our cost. We said very well.
Lies.
Sir, please check the papers on record and please be present in the NGT.
And DDA has clearly in front of NGT, DDA has
if you are taking pains to be at the venue, then also take pains to be in the NGT hearings. Then you would know what everybody is speaking. Simply coming one day for 10 minutes, you would not know the story behind it. We guys have been on the ground for 3 months.
So much about
we people have been on the ground for 3 months.
Make a simple point.
All right. Yes, please, go ahead.
It's a very serious allegation about the debris part.
Vimlenu Jha, let her finish. You have your time to rebut.
Just now you said that allow me to speak. You are doing the same thing which you are advising others. I expect you that everybody should
please
take
make your
chance.
point. Go ahead,
Please.
make your point.
Yeah, my point is that we had brought in documentary evidence and we stated to them, we wrote back, all right, 21st December, we get a letter from authority that go ahead and clear the debris at your cost.
Right.
Starting 22nd December till date, we are still in the process of clearing the debris. Please understand, D&D flyover is next to the venue.
So you're saying the debris there has nothing to do with your organization? It was already there and it's being cleared from there.
We have not got even a bag of sand inside. That's not right.
Okay, now be that as it may, Anand Arya, yes, you wanted to come in on this.
You see, the expert committee is appointed by NGT. Basically, and their responsibility is to implement the orders that were passed on 13th of January 2015.
Right. So explain to our viewers
now,
what those orders
I'll tell
were.
you what that said, that no construction absolutely within the 25-year floodplain. Now this area admittedly in front of the NGT that this is
Then,
not
sir, why make us a
25
victim?
years.
Why make us a
It
victim
is
now?
not
it is
even
for the authorities when they look into the consent.
May
they
I
have
finish,
thought
madam?
about it.
Let
you
me
have
finish,
to come
madam.
in first, answer me.
The reason why we are in front of the NGT is because the state has failed in its
Well,
duty.
please let me also put it across.
The state has failed in its
Ankita, let
duty.
me put it across. Even
No.
they were pulled by NGT very, very much. That
Right.
why are you 2 months late? We people have been there
Is
for
it
beginning
my
of
job
December.
to go to
We
the
people
NGT?
have been
Okay,
there.
no, we're taking your point.
We are,
My-
Ankita, my
Lankita,
suggestion
let
is
me
we take
explain
your
it to
point.
you.
We
No,
take your
one
point
second.
that you may well
They
feel
We
NGT,
were not
the
pulled
court
by
was
NGT
inclined.
at
Please
all.
don't shout.
NGT
Let this be a
simply
respectful
asked-
debate where we don't
May-
shout at each other,
and
but talk to each
NGT
other.
simply asked us,
Yes.
why did you not come to us earlier?
Exactly.
It is not an indictment of me. What is my job? It's not my responsibility to go and monitor what DDA is doing or somebody else is doing this. When we see a irregularity coming above the ground,
Okay.
it is only then I would know about it. How the hell would I know in my, this thing? Is it my
Okay,
job to
okay.
monitor the 24 kilometers of the polluted Yamuna?
Sir, there have been
It's not
random
my job.
allegations
Now
that you people have
let me
kept it
finish,
away from
ma'am.
public
Let
domain.
me finish.
No, we
And-
have not kept the whole event away from public domain. If so, the first public domain is when we
Okay.
write a letter of consent, a request to the authorities. Then how can we keep the very magnitude of the event away from public
Okay,
domain?
okay. My simple
let me
question
also
is,
make another
please, ma'am.
point which is not there on
Yes.
which has not been mentioned. The damage assessed by the expert committee
Yes.
of the NGT, which includes 3 professors
Yes.
and one of the senior most bureaucrats that we have in the country. Now that report has indicted that and come to a very great conclusion that yes, there is a damage.
Yes.
This is the extent of damage. They've got the photographs to prove that concrete, okay, you may call concrete, I don't know what you call the RCC is not concrete, but there is a grit, there is a stone grit, there are bricks, I mean, whose photographs which we have seen as part of the NGT experts report. Now,
let me-
number two,
yes.
what they have been saying on the website was 1,000 acres. Let me tell you, by their own reckoning,
1,000.
and the card which they have printed inviting people shows 2,700 acres of land
Okay.
of floodplain. I will refuse to use the word land. This is floodplain. It's not land.
Land that is meant to be
And
used certainly
once
for such
NGT
events.
says that nothing can be done, temporary or permanent, no activity within 25-year floodplain, where is the question
Okay,
of
Prabhakar Rao, no, I want
one
to take
more
this
point,
across.
one more point.
Yes, very quickly.
They talk about a stage which is temporary. Okay?
Okay.
It is how can a thing which you are creating over a 3-month period by their own reckoning can be a temporary? How can this structure be temporary?
So we did not take 3 months.
Let me finish, madam.
You
Let
need
me
to hear
finish.
what I said. 3
It's
months of
20,
clearing the place.
35,000
I did
people
not. I
sitting
never
on that
said 3
stage.
months of preparation.
No,
Listen,
today we
listen,
have today we have
35,000
the army
people.
also. Many viewers are actually writing into us asking why is the army building bridges for what is essentially a private event.
Absolutely.
Ankita, I would like to answer that question.
Yes, okay, go
Please,
ahead.
Go ahead. Kindly see, this is not just our function. It's a state function. There is a question of safety of thousands of people.
It's a state
And then
function?
you
How are
need
you
the,
saying it's a state function? Is
because
this not?
see, it's something
How's
which
it a
is
state
happening.
function?
People are coming from
26th of January, 15th of August is a state function. This is a private event for whatever
Are you
service they have done.
anything.
It is to celebrate
Ankita,
the 35
anything
years.
which is happening. Please, sir.
It's the
please understand.
35th
Let
anniversary
me-
of AOL. That's what it is described on the website. So what else?
Why would we choose a venue like River Yamuna?
Exactly,
At the
that is
first
the question.
instance?
I'll
When a
tell you
thousand
why.
other
I'll tell you
venues
why.
are open,
Okay,
why
okay,
would
okay.
you?
Yes, let's get the other panelists in as well. Prabhakar Rao, you are an environmental consultant for the Art of Living Foundation. Presumably, you were part of this process from the beginning. What was your advice to the Art of Living Foundation? Which you can accept the fact that they now feel victimized because yes, they got all the paperwork done for it. They got the requisite clearances 4 days before the event. Now this comes up, this big controversy. It's been building up, of course. So why choose the Yamuna? Why go ahead with all of this? And why do you say that it's not going to cause any lasting damage?
Ankita, I would like to give a little bit of perspective here in the sense that 25 years of Art of Living was celebrated in Bangalore where 2.5 million people attended the event. It was held in what was, I would say as an environmentalist, it was held on native grassland. There was concern that the environment would be disturbed, the flora and fauna would be irreparably lost, but Art of Living handed back that venue in absolutely pristine condition. Art of Living has been reviving rivers, river rejuvenation has been going on all over the country. We are environmentally very sensitive. We do not come somewhere just to trample, make an event and run away from it. What we would like is, we would like recommendations. Now, experts have come and seen, I have tremendous respect for them. Let them give us recommendations. What are the processes and procedures? What are the protocols to be followed? We have been following protocols, whether they were permission protocols or environmental protocols.
Okay, but Mr. Rao, the recommendations, one of the recommendations is that Art of Living hand over 120 crore rupees ahead of that event, because that is the estimated cost of sort of restoring the Yamuna floodplains, and we don't know. I mean, that may well be a throwaway figure, but would you be willing to do that?
What I would request NGT to do is to give us what are the steps, in what shape would they want us to leave the site. That is what we would like. We would like point 1, point 2, point 3. If grasses have to be replanted, tell us. We will do it.